Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and today's video is called Who is Broadvoice Voice over IP? Today with me, I have Kathleen Anito and Chris Young at Broadvoice, the wonderful boys and girls at Broadvoice themselves, to tell you guys a little more about their company, their platform, and how they can help your business get the right communications platform and other services. Really quick before we hop into this video, Chris and Kathleen, could you guys both tell the viewers your role at Broadvoice, and also one of you just give us a brief kind of overview of, Broadvoice as a company?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. Tell you a little bit about who I am. Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen Anito. I'm the channel manager here in the Northeast, and I work with people like Prince. And any questions that Prince might have, any quotes, or need a demo for a customer, I'm that person here in the Northeast. And Chris.
Hey, everybody. I'm a sales engineer. I've actually been with Broadvoice for about 11 years. And really the objective of my day is to make sure that whatever solution that you get, it's the right solution based on your needs, and also to kind of help maybe design solutions for your needs tomorrow as well as today.
Cool.
Yeah, Chris is actually the best. He's awesome. I thank Chris every day. You guys have no idea. And then, the other part of your question, Prince, was, hey, who's Broadvoice? So to answer that for you, we are a company that started in 2007. We have about 200,000 lines in service. Our call center actually is in the greater Los Angeles area. And we have over 200 employees. We've got folks all over the US. That's just a tiny, tiny bit of who we are. Chris, do you want to add to that at all?
We specialize in a lot of different services. We had a residential side of our company as well as a business side. So we understand, phone service, through and through. And I think that shows in our product offerings and our customer support.
I didn't know that. I learned something today. I didn't actually know that you guys so you said you used to. Do you guys still offer residential services, or is it strictly business? Okay.
No, we still do. It's under most everything residential is branded under the Phone Power brand.
Awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. That actually leads into what my next question was going to be. Well, actually, my question before the question. My first question is in regards to specifically the voice over IP solutions for phone systems and things like that, which most of the people who are reviewing have probably found this video because of. Do you guys specialize in, is it mainly hosted or cloud-based voice over IP, or do you specialize in on-premise solutions, or both?
Chris, why don't you answer that? Because I know you're going to be more technical with your answer.
Yeah, no problem.
Because you know me, I'd give you like the 2-second version.
The 2-second version, yes. We actually offer hosted-based solutions. We have 2 data centers on each side of the country. The idea is these 2 data centers can offer, services based on wherever you are in the U.S., and also you can use it outside of the country as well. We also do offer what's called SIP trunking. So this is a pretty common industry term, which is what's used for whenever you have a premise-based or basically some sort of phone system at your office. The idea is that instead of using your conventional phone companies like your AT&Ts or your Ma Bells or whatever, you would then replace that with us. And then we would be your connectivity to the rest of the phone world.
Awesome. Okay, so my next question for you guys is, and either or of you can answer this, or both of you can answer it if you got different perspectives on it. What services do you guys find? I know you offer a lot of services, but what services would you guys say are the most popular among your customers that they typically seek, or after, a demo with you guys or a discovery call, they end up finding that it's the best service for their needs? What tends to be the most popular services over there?
Yeah, I'll go first, and then Chris can add to my, what we do, hosted voice, like that's why we're here today. And so most of our customers, they want that 1-to-1 ratio. And some people want to use a soft phone. A lot of people still like that hardware on their desk. So I would say that's probably the most common application that people use Broadvoice 4.
Okay.
And then secondly, almost right second to that is our SIP trunking, like Chris said just a minute ago, because it is very robust. And, we do have the pooled SIP trunks and burstable SIP trunks. So a lot of people really, that's a differentiator for ourselves. Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I was going to say that, and I'd say pretty much people are drawn to the hosted service for the ease of use and the simplicity. A lot of people feel that it's very easy to look into the portal and figure out what to do, and also the customer service. Like Kathleen mentioned earlier, being based in Los Angeles, it's really easy to interact with them and get what you need out of the customer support teams.
While we're on that subject, I want to dig a little deeper into that because you guys just touched on two things that I really want the viewers to really, I really want them to get it through their head. So the two big things that I just heard is, first of all, ease of use with the platform. It sounds like the platform is really easy to use and administer. The other thing that I heard, and then I want you guys to speak on it just a tiny bit more, is if I heard correctly, it sounds like your customer service and support is completely US based, correct?
You know what? I'll start and then I'm going to let Chris finish. So, two things. Number one, the folks that built the platform, the back end, they built it for people like me, not for people like Chris, for people like me who it just needs to be simple and it needs to be really easy and laid out right in front of you so you can, oh, this is where my voicemail is, very, very easy. And it's very streamlined and very simple. So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure that you all know. And then secondly, this is actually very interesting. So our COO started here in December of 2019, and he has just taken our customer satisfaction scores through the roof. So we talk about this on a weekly basis. And our CSAT scores, our customer service scores, are always in the 90s, where the industry average is in the 70s, believe it or not. And this is such a huge differentiator for us. It's amazing. And Chris, do you have anything to add about the portal or customer service
the customer
hours?
service is primarily based in the US. We do have like some after hours stuff that, like if you're calling at like 1 o'clock in the morning, we have some overseas support that kind of fields that initial call and will kind of help you do some basic break fix stuff. And then if it's beyond that, then they get an engineer that's here in the US. So, and I think that's pretty standard for most people. Trying to maintain a 24/7 operation in the US. It's a little difficult sometimes, just because of the spread of the geography and running the call centers. So like I said, we only really rely on a little bit of overseas support when it's after hours, but everything primarily, I think our hours of operation, I think it's like 5 to 6 or something like that. That's all US based support guys that you're talking to.
Cool. Let's see here. My next question for you guys. What specific business industries do you guys find that, find the most benefit with your platforms, or that you guys find that you're constantly working with the most? What specific industries? Maybe like just a handful.
You know what? Chris has been here for 11 years, so I'll let him talk. But we work with tons of healthcare, lots of nonprofit organizations. Our niche in the marketplace is the SMB marketplace. And that's typically defined as, 1,000 seats or under. But we really work well with anybody that kind of falls in that range. So, dentist's office, lawyers, and then Chris, go ahead and add to that, please.
You kind of nailed them all, actually. I'd say number one is definitely health and medical. We just got done going through our latest HIPAA audit, so there's documentation that we can provide to customers on that half. That's
awesome.
Health and medical is definitely number one. Probably, and it's scattered across like 2s and 3s. We're really big in the retail space. Like we have a lot of big retailers. One that Kathy and I talk about a lot is there's a pretty prominent gym chain that we have.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah, that's cool. Uses our service. You know, and there's some other like big retailers as well that have, you know, like multiple offices or multiple storefronts, and we're providing the phone service for those storefronts. With our latest platform that we came out with a couple years ago, there's a lot of really strong fit for schools and as well as law offices. Things like the ability to tag calls for, you know, reports and billing hours and stuff like that. And schools have a lot of pricing models that make sense and everything, as well as some advanced like paging features and stuff for notifying students of any sort of school side emergencies or anything like that.
Awesome. Awesome. I just learned a lot. That's pretty cool. So, and I'm glad you brought up the HIPAA thing too. So now folks that are watching that may be in healthcare or medical insurance or, you know, Medicare, whatever it may be, they know that you guys are, as I like to say in a lot of other videos, in the base sense, you know, before human error gets involved, is a HIPAA compliant solution provider. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to add one thing really
Sure.
quickly, if you don't mind. So Chris touched upon education. So if you think of schools or universities or auto dealerships or manufacturing, we have a great pricing model where we can do a call path model. So if you think of those three verticals, like a school needs a telephone in every classroom.
Yeah.
It really doesn't get used very often.
Mm-hmm.
So we have what's called a call path model. And, you know, that way we cut the call paths down essentially. And then obviously the pricing comes down a lot as well.
Cool. Cool. You actually led right into my next question.
See how good I am?
Which was, without going into the exact number of pricing, because a big question that I get asked from a lot of people that find our channel and call looking for the right solution is, you know, they don't know if they don't know what the carriers charge, the type of model. They don't know if it's per minute. They don't know if it's per extension. They don't know if it's a flat fee. What is you guys' pricing model in the general sense?
So, you know what, we work with our customers to see what their exact needs are, and we price by the seat, which if you think about it, it's like per person.
Yep.
And you know, and then there's like there's just two levels. So we don't have any tiered pricing. And the other thing I like to tell people is that we own our own platform, which gives us the ability to just be very flexible.
Awesome.
We're like a lot of competitors. You may hear a lot of like Broadsofts and Metaswitches and stuff like that. These are companies that basically make back-end telephone systems. So those companies are beholden to whatever pricing model they have. So the downside to that is that if, you know, let's say, for example, big switch manufacturer, the board decides, oh, we need to make more revenue and we need to jack up all the per seat prices, that gets passed along to those companies and in turn to their customers, whereas we're not beholden to that.
Awesome. Question for you guys. What makes you different, without naming any of your competitors, what makes you different than you guys' competitors, or what would you say really sets you apart in the market and compared to, we'll just say, all the other guys out there selling voice over IP or selling phone systems?
Yeah, I'll go first, and I'll tell you that what really differentiates us is, number one, our people. And I know everyone says that, so you have to call me and you have to use Broadvoice to really understand what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Our responsiveness, we're like psycho responsive. I mean, I'm not even kidding, actually. I'm going to give you a very quick example.
Sure, go for it.
I had a partner call me the other day who had an immediate need. We got 47 phones up and running, soft phones, up and running in less than 24 hours. We can do it in 48 hours, but we are psycho responsive, and it's because we genuinely care.
I'm going to use that one going forward.
Right, my marketing team's going to hate me right now. They're like, you said psycho responsive?
That's awesome.
We are. I'm sorry, we are. And so that is really one of our big differentiators. And then secondly, we want to help you find the right solution. So like, that's what Chris said. We're not going to give you some cookie cutter. We want to work with you. So those are two things from my perspective.
Yeah.
Chris, what would you add to that?
I think kind of to dovetail on what you said, finding the right solution. And I know a lot of sounds weird coming from the sale, like anybody related to sales, but sometimes we've had scenarios where I've gone out and we've looked at a customer situation. We're like, look, this isn't a good fit. Your needs won't be a good fit. And the customer is like, I really appreciate that. And because of that, they tried to go around to some other providers, and they ended up kind of making some caveats on their side. They said, hey, you were the first company that went to us and said, hey, this won't be a good fit. So we know that you're going to do what's in our best interest or to the best of your ability. And I think that that's a big thing, is sometimes just saying, hey, look, we want to make sure it's the right solution for everybody,
Nice.
as opposed to just jamming a square peg into a round hole and causing a lot of upset feelings.
Nice. No, I really appreciate all that feedback, guys. You guys totally answered my question. The funny thing is, to go back to what you and Kathleen were going back on the whole psycho responsive. Without actually mentioning it on YouTube right now, with the current events in our world, there's probably a lot of healthcare people watching this that are like, "Oh God, I need to call Broadsoft like Broadvoice like yesterday." They're like, "We need to call Broadvoice like now." So
Yeah.
some people
Well,
like
the
that.
big thing is to like what Kathleen said, if we're not deploying hardware and we have everything in line, we can move very quickly. And that's part of what we've been trying to do during this lockdown, is make sure that we can move as fast as possible to get those solutions for those remote workers and, organizations as they're kind of coming in and out of lockdown or whatever stage that they're in the cycle.
Yeah, awesome. So my final question for you guys before we wrap this video up: for anybody who is watching this video that's thinking, you know what, I like these guys, I like their attitude, I like the way it sounds like their position in the market, I like the general sound of their pricing model, how they, the fast response, things like that. What would your message be to anybody who's watching this right now that, they need a new phone system or hosted voice over IP solution and they're watching this?
Well, I mean, I would say call Prince or call myself, and we will be psycho responsive. We need to test. Let's see, time me, see how long it takes me to get back to you. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But no, genuinely, like, we want to ask you some questions and have a conversation, have a thoughtful conversation to see if this is something we can help you with. Because genuinely, like, that's our approach, is we just want to help people out, because there's a lot of choices out there and we want to help you make the best choice. So that's really honestly the approach that we take.
Cool. Anything you want to add to that, Chris? Or
I just think it's just as a consumer of services, the landscape's changing a lot right now, obviously because of, it's interesting being in the industry for as long as I have. A lot of people were kind of resistant to hosted voice and everything like that.
Yeah.
And because of the lockdown, now everybody's revisiting it as it's a necessity.
Yeah.
And the changing of the technology and the landscape and everything like that, it's moving very rapidly because of this situation that we're in right now. And it's, for good or bad, remote workers are becoming more and more of a thing, and because of that, like, these technologies and services are becoming more and more on the forefront of everybody's minds. So
Cool. Well, Kathleen and Chris, I want to thank you both for being here. I have definitely learned a lot. I'm sure the viewers have learned a lot. For those of you who are watching this video and you're thinking, you know what, I like these guys, I like what I've heard in this video, and I'd like to learn more about Broadvoice. Maybe you'd like to chat with Kathleen or Chris about pricing. You'd like to see a quote for your scenario. Maybe you'd even like to see a demo of some of their stuff, like, mobile app, desktop app, or the actual administration platform. Below this video, there will be some information where you can contact me, and I'll put you directly in touch with the folks that you have seen in this video today. If you found this video helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
ring that bell.
Yeah, ring that bell. Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.